Here at Breckenridge, we love collecting Lego sets. Most of the time we're buying new off the shelf at the Lego store or another retail outlet, but sometimes we'll find some deals on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, or even just through local ads in our community. This group of sets here I found on the Facebook Marketplace not too long ago, where basically a teenager had felt like he outgrew them all, and they had several sets listed. So I looked through that list and didn't have, I think only Grogu the child here is the only one we had, and thought, well, why not have another one if it's a good deal? And I contacted them. They said yes, they're all still available, and I think we even have a couple more we could put in. And I was like, well, let me check it out. And they told me a total price of all the sets, and it was a good deal, and I'd like to show you what we got here. The first set on their list was the Carbonation Freezing Chamber from Empire Strikes Back, with a Han Solo, a little Cloud City worker guy, and Boba Fett came with him. And it had a lot of cool moving parts for being able to send Han down into the carbonation. You turn it around, bring it back up, and he is then frozen. And this guy goes up and down an elevator, but just a lot of neat little moving parts on it. They were asking, I believe, $15, and looking up on Bricklink, it said the used value was around $29. So that seems like a pretty good deal on that one. I have not actually verified it every single piece is here, but it looks pretty complete when I compare it to the original photos. Another Star Wars set they had listed was the 501st Legion Clone Trooper Pack. These days you see droid battle packs and clone trooper packs going with mostly just the minifigs. This one came with one of the two-legged walkers and one of the speeders. Pretty neat. It's got 2 battle droids and 4 clone troopers. That's a good deal. I paid like $15 for it, was their asking price, and again, it's going for around $29, $30 used. Very excited to have this added to our Star Wars collection. Another Star Wars set they had listed was The Child. I liked how Lego released this set before the name reveal of Grogu came on the TV series, so it was called The Child. And it came with actual minifig size child Grogu, along with obviously the larger build that's supposed to be similar to the actual Yoda that came out similar to this, but this is the baby Yoda, as everybody called him originally. He's got his little ball he's learning how to use the Force with there. Another reason we got it, though, is we actually had one of these already, but Janelle also really liked the number of brown pieces that this comes with and how they can be used potentially in other mocks or other sets that we want to get going. They were asking for $35, and used on Bricklink is around that price, $37 maybe, which is interesting because it originally retailed for almost $80, I think. Still, so not necessarily the biggest discount, but a good set considered thrown in with all the other ones. One more Star Wars set that we gotten in this deal was the Brickheads Mandalorian and the Child. They came with this for about $5 total, which is a pretty good deal. It was originally around $10 probably, but the used value now is around $8, I think. Mandalorian has his big rifle back here, and Grogu has his little egg that he floats around in following Mando. Cute little Brickheads to add to our growing Brickheads collection. The Thor mech armor was part of this Facebook find, and he's got a nice looking Thor minifig in there, and his hammer's connected to the side there. He can pull that off and go to battle, or he can stay inside his suit and use his big fancy hammer with the lightning bolts coming out of it. This set was asking about $5 for it. Original price was about $10, and current used price I think is around $9. Without realizing it, there was a set in there from Overwatch. It was actually a limited edition from what I've read that came out around 2018, sold for about $50 then, and now it's currently valued for around $70 or $80. And I'm not necessarily a gaming person and don't know much about Overwatch at all, but this is Bastion from Overwatch and his Grey Mead companion. And they are are really cool looking. I think that he's got a lot of neat looking features here, a little bit of mobility with his limbs and head. And he came for about $20. So I think that's probably one of our most valued sets that we got out of this Facebook find. He's a really nice looking guy. Looks like some pretty serious guns he's got on the back here. Pew pew. The original Facebook Marketplace listing actually was 2 separate listings, with this passenger airplane being on a separate listing. And they were asking $35, I believe $55 originally for it, but then once they packaged it all together, they brought the price down on this one, so it was more like $35 that we actually paid. Current use values around $70, and I believe it retailed for $80 or so. I've enjoyed collecting some of the city sets. I don't have any other of the airplanes or anything, so this one was kind of nice to find for a good price. Top comes off for being able to see into the passenger compartment. It actually has one of the drink stations that the stewardesses use to serve the passengers. Landing gear on it's cool. It doesn't necessarily go up, but you can just probably pop it right off if you need to. It's got the little air terminal here, the traffic control station, along with a place for luggage to come out for people to pick that up. And also, of course, one of the luggage loading trolleys, and a car that seems a little bit out of place, but I guess if you got to get to the airport, that's your vehicle for that. Pretty fun little set. A couple of parts of it I've noticed are pretty fragile, but it looks nice once put together, which I can't do very well. I think there's actually a piece missing right here. That's what this is. Okay, so this set I was actually really excited about to find out that they were selling also. It was not in the original Facebook listing, and once I contacted them, they said, I think we might have one more set, the dinosaur fossils. And I was like, really? Okay, that'd be awesome. And so I found out they were only asking about $20 additional for it, when its used value is over $60 and retailed for around $60 also. So it's held its value very well. It's really well put together. Lots of some Technic pieces in here, and very nice structures to all of these. You got your T-Rex, your Triceratops, and your pterodactyl that just look really neat on display. My son had actually bought this a long time ago when it was for sale, and always kind of wished we had one for ourselves, and now we do. I like how it's got the Explorer skeleton with it, and lots of other little extra pieces such as a dinosaur egg and a couple of extra dinosaur bones. Very reminiscent of Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, and it looks like it'd be nice to go with the Natural History Museum too. Maybe an outdoor display to go with that set. So like I said, this was a pretty good deal we found through the Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes we find bulk Legos that we'll buy a bucket of and use those in our mocks. Sometimes we'll find sets like this that we can just keep together and display. It's highly recommended if you ever want to go find some used sets and maybe find a deal on Facebook, Craigslist. Maybe it's just somebody in your neighborhood that's having a garage sale. We found a few sets and bulk sets that way too. So get out there if you can, see what you can find. Happy hunting.